as a music teacher on summer vacation, I really wanted to take some time this summer and to play my woodwind instruments, something I haven't done in over 3 years. And I know for shame that I haven't played in over 3 years. And I sat down and I got to work so that I could share with you the Summer of Winds. Let's take it from the top. One of the things that was preventing me from getting going on my woodwind instruments this summer was that this summer just kind of got away from me. I had a lot of projects going on, and finding quiet time to take my instruments out and to really give them the time that I needed was difficult. The other thing that held me back was that I knew that it was going to be hard. I had to convince myself that even though it was going to be difficult, that it was something worthwhile to do. And I finally had to get over it. I realized while I was working out one morning that working out is hard, and I get up every morning and I do it, and my body has gotten stronger and I feel more confident when I work out. And playing my instruments is the same thing. I knew it was going to be hard to start, and I just had to get over it and say, you know what, I can do hard things. It's not like I've never played these instruments before, but I knew that it was going to take some time. So I told myself I'm going to do this, and I started with clarinet because that is the instrument I started with when I entered 6th grade. I wanted to play clarinet when I went into middle school, and it just so happened that a family that we attended church with had a clarinet that they were willing to give to me. That clarinet had a lot of problems, and as a result, my band director suggested that I play bass clarinet. I loved playing the bass clarinet, and this is a picture of me from the 8th grade parade, and as you can see, the bass clarinet was as big as me. This is 9th grade, marching in the parade. I was dropped off late by my parents, and as a punishment, I had to be in the back with the trombones. This is a picture of me in probably Christmas of '92, entertaining my family. This is me in high school, marching with the rest of the clarinets in the parade. This is my sister and I at church. That is actually my flute, but my sister would pick it up and pretend to play on it. I just thought this picture was cute. My youngest sister actually played the clarinet, but she's 6 years younger than me, so we never got to play together in high school. As part of my music education degree, I did have to perform a senior recital on my principal instrument, so these are photos from that. I decided to get back into the swing of things by starting with some long tones and just really focusing on trying to figure out how the best breath support would work so that I could play fairly in tune, and just trying to work on my breath support, work on my embouchure and the muscles to get a good tone. This is me working on scales, and I was not reading the scales off of any sheet music. I was playing the scales from memory, from my mind, and really kind of messing up. So I really worked on some of the scales, not all of them, but I worked on the scales and just trying to get 2 octaves of each scale in with few mistakes from my memory. Could I mess that one up? So I just played part 1 all the way through with the repeats and dynamics, and I had some mess ups. Then I played part 2 all the way through with the repeats, and I had some mess ups. So that's why right now I'm just going to go to the parts where I mess up. Part 1, I'm having trouble when I do the octave from the A to the A. So I'm just going to spend a few moments on that. And then when I go from forte to piano. Sometimes on part 2, I forget the E flat there. That's fine. Part 2 is significantly simpler. So I'm going to keep working on this Sonatine duet. As a music teacher, it is your job, it is my job, to be able to not only evaluate a musical performance, but also help others in learning how to properly evaluate musical performances. And in this, you have categories of strength and categories that need improvement. And I can objectively look at my own performance and critique it. Before I do that, I invite you to go in the comments and critique my performance yourself. I don't take things personally. I understand there is room for improvement. Number one, I just like to say that I am proud of myself for reinvesting in my woodwind instruments, specifically the clarinet. And I know that the reason I don't play my woodwinds often anymore is because when it comes to performing and playing music outside of my job and playing music within my job as an elementary music teacher, playing woodwinds on a regular basis isn't something that I need to or I do on a regular basis. Again, I do play my recorder a lot as I do teach recorder, and recorder is a woodwind. I knew it was going to be hard, but I devoted some time to it, and I did have fun doing it. Playing an instrument, no matter what it is, learning something from scratch or reinvesting time into something that you got away from, whatever it is, gives you internal validation. And I saw this statement that said, external validation is short-term fuel. And that really, really made me think about why I'm doing this. Why would I take out my woodwind instruments that I haven't really touched in over 3 years and invest time into playing them? Well, because it gives me internal validation. Internal validation fuels you for the long run. External validation is great for short-term fuel. I like that. Anyway, I might be using that statement more in future videos, but I will critique my performance. I really tried to pay attention to staying on tempo and adding dynamics. I tried hard in doing the proper phrasing. But one of the things I know I need to continue to work on is my breath control and breath support. I ran out of breath a few times. Sometimes I would reach the end of the phrase and still have too much breath that I had to expel before I could take in another breath to do the next phrase. And a lot of that has to do with just getting back into the swing of things and recalibrating my system for playing the clarinet. The other thing I know that I need work on, and I've always needed work on, is articulation. I never have had that crisp, clear articulation, have that technique for tonguing nice, crisp, clear staccatos and that sort of thing. So I know articulation is something that I've always kind of struggled with, and it is something that I can work on. And I know I need to work on those things in order to improve. And I think something else that will help me is to get some new quality reeds to help in both those things, that breath control and articulation. So that is my clarinet video in my summer of winds. I have been working on a few other things that I would like to record and share when the time is right. But please, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Please critique me in the comments. I can take it. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. I do music education, music content, or just midlife in general. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.